Welcome everyone. Today in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to focus and get anything you want in 2025 through the power of your attention and through the 3 superpowers of your consciousness. So we're going to get into it. My name is Nick Sweeney. I have used these methods for my clients, for pro athletes. It's how I built my business from 0 to 30 high ticket clients in under 2 months this fall. And these techniques have been tried and tested by me and now by a lot of people in the arena. So there's a lot to go over. Buckle up, get present, eliminate the distractions. We're going to be going over everything from start to finish. And this isn't going to be some productivity Pomodoro hack nonsense. This is going to be actual tangible things that you can do right away to start cultivating your focus, to start training the part of the brain that is responsible for focusing, and to also take it from a psychological level downstream, from a neurological level upstream, from a physiological level nervous system. How do we train the nervous system to focus for long periods of time? And this is going to be a total game changer for you. Quite frankly, if you can't focus, if you're already distracted in this video, this is for you, because if you can't focus in life, you are basically fucked. If you can't focus in 2025, it doesn't matter what opportunities you may have. It doesn't matter that 2025 is the time of opportunity and we have the internet and all of these things that you can possibly sink your teeth into. If you can't focus, then you are just not going to be able to get as much units of energy out of units of time. You are not going to be able to be as efficient, and it is going to be very difficult for you to get where you want and to achieve what your dreams, or frankly to heal or to run laps on your competitors. It all comes down to focus. Attention is the currency of God. And today we are going to break this down for you simply and in a way that's going to be game changing. So first and foremost, we have the ability to focus. The focus is innate to human nature. Back in the day when you were hunting, and I know this when I'm hunting in the fall, I sit there and you are so focused, no distractions for hours, and you have to be focused in case there's a little twig that snaps. Suddenly your prey is over there. So innately, we have the ability to focus, and we think that we've been robbed of this ability because of cell phones and that kind of thing, but that's not true. You can concentrate, you can focus. Concentration is just the elimination of weapons of mass distraction. Concentration and focus are innate. It is a superpower for you. And so we're going to be getting into this. Today, I'm going to start off because I want you guys to have something really tangible to take away right away. We're going to talk about the reticular activating system, and I'm going to have you guys set alarms in your phone that are going to force you to reflect on what you're focused on, what your nervous system is focused on. So let's get into it. RAS, reticular activating system. The reticular activating system is a bundle of brain neurons at the base of your brainstem that are focused on what to focus on. They're responsible for what you're aware of. They are the filter of your reality. If you are focused on the color red only in your space right now, and you look around and you look at all the things that are the color red, great, I see everything that's the color red. Now, if I was to ask you, tell me everything that was the color blue, you probably would not be able to name everything that was the color blue. That is the reticular activating system. And you have given your reticular activating system just now the job to look at everything that was red. Well, in our lives, we have instructed our reticular activating system to be focused on, usually, the things that can threaten us, the reasons why we're not good enough, the reasons why we're undeserving of love, the reasons why this might be dangerous, why this might not work out. We are essentially focused on the negative thing. Why? because we have a default setting in the nervous system to be assessing for danger, and we don't hold weight to the good in our life. We hold a lot of weight to the bad. The negative stuff sticks. That's why if you're some millionaire, you have some exit, and you think you're going to feel great, but you don't. You feel good for a little, but then the negative stuff is still there and the good stuff ran right through you. So that is something that you can train out of. So you're trained right now. Society trained you. You trained yourself. You may be perpetuating an agreement that you made with yourself when you were 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's now presenting itself in the present moment, keeping you stuck. And so the first thing really is, what am I focused on? I have to become aware of what I'm focused on. All things in life stream downstream from the awareness level. That's why mindfulness is the highest return on investment, return on energy, and investment thing that you can possibly train. And that's what we're going to be doing today. Focus. So reticular activating system. In order to retrain your reticular activating system, we're going to force it to retrain. But we have to also excavate and understand, what is it trained on in the first place? 4 alarms. I want you to set 4 alarms on your phone. 4 alarms. Each alarm is what is labeled, what am I thinking right now? What am I thinking about right now? What am I thinking right now? Then write those down in a note sheet. You're going to have 1 in the morning. What am I thinking about right now? And it could be, right away in the morning. You never know. I would recommend doing it after you've done your morning routine. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. Then we're going to have 1 middle of the day. So call it, oh, that's what I was missing. 9 a.m., 12 p.m., 3 p.m. usually, when the program kicks in and that thing that you're focused on isn't very nice. It's not very great. It's usually a program. It's usually fear. It's usually, oh, fuck, I'm not good enough. I'm tired. I'm not productive enough. I'm not focused enough. I'm not doing what I should be doing right now because I'm tired. Program kicks in. What are we thinking about at 3 p.m.? What are we thinking about 12 p.m.? And then, 9 p.m. This doesn't have to be the exact time. I would recommend doing it at a time where you think your mind gets a little weaker during the day. I know for me, 3:30 on the dot, 3:30 on the dot, the program kicks in for me, and I start to feel like shit. I start to feel like someone wants to take everything I have. I start to feel like I'm not good enough, I'm unworthy, I'm a piece of garbage, and I should just give up and quit. That's how I feel at 3:30 p.m. pretty much precisely. And I've known this because I've honed in on it and I did the reticular activating system. So 4 alarms every day. Let's become aware of what you're focused on. So you're going to do these alarms for 2 weeks, and then we are going to reshift what you're focusing on. So right now, the first 2 weeks, you're just focused on, what am I focused on? What is my RAS trained on at the moment? And then after that, 2 weeks later, we are going to label the reticular activating system alarm something to prompt our mind to focus on what we want it to focus on. So what does that look like? That looks like 4 alarms a day again, and gonna wait for this side of the whiteboard to dry. That looks like 4 alarms, and they are air blowing for the 3rd time today. My apologies. The black marker doesn't work. You should just get off the video now. All right, so this is game changer. Why am I so grateful? That's one alarm, perhaps. What was the best part of my morning? That's another prompt. So you see how the reticular activating system is an antenna. And if we can train the antenna to be picking up the signal of all the reasons why you're good enough, all the reasons why you're focused, all the reasons why you're a beast, all the reasons why you're a machine, all the reasons why you can make millions and millions of dollars, all the reasons why you can win Olympic gold, let's start picking up the good evidence. You have a lawsuit going on in your life. There's one side of the lawsuit that's the losing side of the lawsuit. The problem is our nervous system is trained on that side of the lawsuit. We want to shift to the winning side of the case. And we want to be focused on the winning side of the case because what we set our attention upon expands. So if we are focused on all the reasons why we can fucking do it, we are going to then do the actions that are conducive to actually doing it. You're going to act as if you are so close. You are going to act as if you are already an Olympic gold medalist or a millionaire or healed. You act as if you already are healed. So, what was the best part of my morning? Why am I so grateful? Why am I such a hard worker? How did I honor myself this morning? Is another good one that I won't write out. And so this is a very tangible way for you to train what you're focused on. And when you train what you're focused on, you are going to do the actions that you know you should be doing. All change happens from the identity level outwards. So if you believe you are something, and if you are aware that you are that thing, then you are going to act accordingly. If you think you're a piece of shit and you're focused on all the reasons why you're a piece of shit, well, you're going to act like a piece of shit. And I'm not saying that from a place of like judgment. I'm saying that from a place of knowingness because that's what happens for me. When I am focused on the wrong things, I will do the wrong things. When I'm focused on the right things, I will do the right things. I will change my life in that zone, in that pocket of power, of focus. And so the thing about what I'm pointing you to here is that there are 3 superpowers of your consciousness: awareness, intention, and attention. They're literally like bulldozing concrete. I hope you guys can't hear that right now. My video editor is going to have to deal. Okay, 3 superpowers of your consciousness. These things will change your life. These things will, you're not going to hear this anywhere else. So you have awareness, attention, and intention. Let's talk about awareness for a sec. This is you, little circle. This is you. This is your pinpoint of awareness. Pinpoint of awareness. From this place of awareness, we are going to be gathering raw data from your experience. All is mind. The mind is all. The universe is mental. And so from this place of mental, from this place of awareness, anything is possible. You are living in the seat of pure potentiality. You are living in the seat of the infinite imagination, creativity, focus, zone of genius, presence. This is like deep, deep state of meditation. Now, what happens is that we have, and this is, everything flows downstream from this. This is the number one thing to train, is awareness. Am I aware of what I'm focused on right now? Am I aware of what I'm focused on? Stick with me. I'm going to give you some game. Just stick with me. Awareness, of course. Sound like a broken record. Awareness. So, the thing about awareness is that we have to be aware of something. So, this is the second Hermetic principle, but it applies here. The law of correspondence. So you can see this circle outside of this circle as the material world, the reality that you're living in. This is what you are aware of. Like, oh, there's an interplay going on here of like, what's going on in your life. This is step one. This is the number one superpower of your consciousness, awareness. This is why meditation is so powerful. This is why breathwork is so powerful. And if you haven't checked out my breathwork app, click the link below. That will change the game for you. Oh my gosh, they're literally breaking up concrete over there. Really hope my sound editor can deal with that. Okay, so this is you, little circle, right? And trust me, I'm gonna give you some right here. So, second superpower of your consciousness, which is what we're talking about today, is attention. Attention is going to sculpt this data into what is real. Think of the surface of the water being super still. This surface is just super still of the water. That is awareness. Attention is when you begin to vortex that water. I'm vortexing the water in a certain direction. I'm vortexing it towards a certain goal. Attention, the word attention comes from the word attentio, which means mental focus. It is the concentration of energy. It is the currency of God. It is to be invested, not paid. Attention is to be invested, not paid. What am I paying attention to? And with the reticular activating system alarms, we are shifting, ideally, what we're focused on to be focused on the things that are going to have an ROI. I'm paying attention into my business, into my training, into my health. That is going to have a return on investment and in energy. So, attention, broad overview. When we have cultivated attention from awareness, this arrow of attention is going to go out somewhere, always. From this place of awareness, we have an arrow. And the most important thing, and bringing it all together, the third superpower of your consciousness is intention. Awareness, attention, intention. What is my intention? Intention is simple, super, super simple. From A, we're at point A. I want to get to point B. Point A to point B. Point B is your intention. And for the sake of this video, let's say your intention is 100K a month. 100K a month. This is a very big goal, and this, as an intention, requires a lot of focus. It requires a lot of attention in order for that to become a reality, obviously. And when we train our attention, like I'm telling you and showing you, I've barely gotten started in this video on how to train your attention to be focused on 100K a month. When you do that, that expands. When you do that, the other things fall away. So people are so concerned with like self-sabotage and addictions and all this stuff. It's like, how do I quit weed? How do I quit porn? How do I quit nicotine? How do I quit these vices, doom scrolling, all that kind of stuff? This is how you do it. The mission takes care of everything. Once you've trained from a neurological level, psychological level, and physiological level, trained everything, honed all of your energy, funneled all the energy into your intention. Once this is muscle memory, the vices just fall away, bro. The weed, the porn, the stuff, the toxic habits, the mission takes care of everything. Anything that's not a constituent component of the mission will fall away. It's like you build this building and the scaffolding just falls to crumbles around you and you just keep going up, boom, boom, level after level after level after level, and you're addicted to that. And I'm gonna teach you how to get addicted to that at the end of this video. But I wanna give you this broad overview because this is very important to know. Ultimately, this A to B is a funnel. This awareness is the most important, obviously, which is why meditation and breath work is so, so important. but it's why the reticular activating system alarms are so important. This is why mindfulness, moment to moment work is the work. And so presence is everything. Presence is everything. You can't have flow state unless you have presence. And so this is this funnel going to 100K a month for you. Let's say, for the sake of this video, to your intention. So now that you understand this, let's keep it moving here. The aim for you is to anchor yourself in this intention and to hardwire it into your motherboard and to create muscle memory around what you're focused on. What am I focused on? And the thing is, like Harvard did a study where it was 75% of everyone's thoughts are negative on a day-to-day basis because of our default setting of survival. It's called a survival bias. Survival bias. Nervous system wants to keep you safe, not fulfilled. Nervous system wants you to survive, not take risks on yourself. 100K a month, that's a risk. Healing yourself, that's a risk. You could just go to the doctor and let the doctor tell you what to do. Trying to heal yourself, that's a risk. Trying to go and win the Olympics, risk. Get a promotion, become an executive, become a founder, become an entrepreneur, become a solopreneur, risks. And this is like, I'll just tell you guys, because when I quit my job in July, I knew this at such a high level because I've been a breathwork facilitator for so long, and I was an athlete in college. And when I quit my job, every fiber of my being was like, just go find another job. Just go find another job. Get some security. I need my bottom level of Maslow hierarchy of needs to be filled before I can risk. And I was like, fuck that. I know what's happening. Survival bias. I put all my money into a coach. I spent 10 grand on a coach to teach me how to build up my business. And that was terrifying. That was terrifying. And the best decision I ever made. God loves courage. God fucking loves courage. And that was a mantra of mine. God fucking loves courage. And if you risk it, risk it all, you will be rewarded in some way. So you can ask yourself, like, what would the version of me that had no fear do? What would the most courageous version of me do right now in my life? Would it quit my job? There's a whole lot of people right now that are in jobs that know that they shouldn't be there. There's a whole lot of people I talk to that are like, yeah, I was spent way too long in that job. That is crazy commonality. Spent way too long in my job. Why? Because they're focused on the wrong thing. They're focused on what might happen if they quit. But they don't actually play it out through their mind of like, well, okay, let's say you do quit your job. What happens? You have to move to a shitty apartment? What happens if, and for some of you, you have a family. Some of you, there's a lot of risk involved. I was lucky. I'm a 27-year-old dude. I don't have many obligations other than I gotta feed myself, I gotta pay rent, and I gotta stay healthy. That's it. But for some of you, there's a lot of risk involved. But what would the most courageous version of you do? Do you believe in God? Do you have faith? Are you run by faith or are you run by fear? Are you surviving and living in fear? Are you surviving and living in fear, or are you living and living in faith? Those two things. And faith over fear is really the derivatives of what I'm talking about here. Are you focused on fear or are you focused on faith? And these are meta concepts. I'm going to break it down for you very, very granularly here. But I wanted to give you a little bit of a background because you have to apply full court press to fear, to the survival mode bias all the time. You can't not. Otherwise, you will get your shit run by the programs in your mind. So, wow, these guys are really drilling on concrete as I'm spitting bars today. It's all good. It's all good. Everything happens for a reason. I'm going to be focused on why the real ones are going to stick around. Okay, so we have defined a core mission. It all starts and ends with awareness, but intention is the core mission. Mission. What is your mission in life? It's a good thing to ponder. Now, let's talk about weapons of mass distraction. Let's talk about how to be really focused on a day-to-day basis. We can talk about meta concepts all day long. You know you need to be aware. You know you need to meditate. The most destructive thing in my life is my phone. The most destructive thing for every single one of my clients is their phone. And so a couple weeks ago, I burned out. I had liver problems. This person was like very concerned about my liver, stomach issues, headache all the time, super tired. I have a headache now. I'm still bouncing back, but we're healing perfectly because I believe that my body's healing perfectly always. But I just burned the fuck out. And what I did was took a real audit of novel stimuli in the mornings, dopamine, where was my dopamine at, and what am I focused on? And all those three were fucked. So 2 weeks ago, I decided to do a detox. I did a couple 2-day-long fasts, and most importantly, I cleaned up my morning like I've never cleaned it up before. This was fucking game changer. So let's just say, great, we have the intention, but in the mornings, you're going to be in a certain brainwave state. So you wake up 6 a.m., let's say, and your brain is like this. And ideally, that's what it is. This is the ideal. Until you're done with work, okay? Deep work. We have wire-framed out, this time, wire-framed out work time from 7 to 11. No one is disturbing me. I'm on Do Not Disturb, DND. More importantly, my phone is fucking out of the room. Out of the room. Phone is nowhere to be found. I do not want my phone there. And we'll talk about digital hygiene in a different video, how I cleaned up my computer during this week. But more importantly, I woke up and I did not look at my phone. No phone. Because this is your ideal brainwave state where we're in alpha brainwaves. Alpha brainwaves are the brainwaves associated with Olympians when they're about to race, about to compete. Peak performance state of alpha. Alpha is this bridge between the subconscious and the conscious mind. This is your zone of genius. This is your creativity. This is your deep workflow state. This is where you're going to make a bunch of money. Alpha. So we want to maximize for alpha in the morning. But what happens, let's do another example down here, 6 a.m., do it in a different color. You guys are going to see where I'm going with this. So, 6 a.m., great. We woke up early, fuck yeah. But we looked at our phone right away, and then we kind of drop. And now our brainwaves like this, and this is a beta brainwave state, literally beta. This is hunter mind. This is where we were hunting, but not the point where you're like sitting there waiting for the animal to come. This is when you are chasing after the animal. But what happens is it manifests as fucking anxiety in 2025. And I'm gonna draw out kind of what happens really to people, because we want our brain waves to stay the same. When you feel really good, it's your brain likes to stay wherever it's at. Your brain likes to stay at whatever frequency it's at. It does not really want to change. If it's in beta, it thinks we need to be in beta right now. If it's in alpha, it's like, let's be in alpha right now. I don't want to get out of alpha. This is what happens to me This is what happens to everyone that looks at their phone in the morning. Wake up, we're in alpha, great. Phone, okay. And then we're kind of like, going through the morning, and then we're opening up our computer and we're checking our email. And then we're checking social media. And then we're checking Slack. And then we're checking this. And then we got to go on a side quest on our fucking computer and do this. And then, okay, let's say by 8:30, you're like, okay, bro, I need to fucking do deep work. I need to do something. I know that I'm like splitting my consciousness right now, context switching, and there's all this stuff that needs to get done. And I feel like I didn't get anything done. I just looked at a bunch of notifications. So what is this here? This represents novel stimuli. This is what I realized the past couple of weeks during this dopamine detox, is anything can be a novel stimuli, and those novel stimuli are what screw your focus. They screw your ability to focus. Novel stimuli. So in the mornings, this is the prescription. You wake up, no phone. No phone. Do not look at your phone. Do not look at your phone. Try to, same clothing, even. I'm not saying Mark Zuckerberg crazy shit, but like, let's not spend 5 minutes in the closet trying to figure out what we're gonna wear. Let's have it laid out the night before so that it's boom. And let's make our routine the exact same routine every day if we can, which looks like, for me, wake up, do 100 air squats, 15 minutes of breath work, 15 minutes to 30 minutes of meditation, and then get on my computer and have my computer cleaned up. And I'll show this in another video, but I'm so focused by now. If I wake up 6 a.m. and let's say for me, I like to get out of my mind and into my body. Maybe that creates a bit of a brainwave state of beta. So I'm doing this while my air squats, but then I'm doing breath work, and then I'm meditating, and then I open my computer and know exactly what I'm doing. And so again, intention. What's the intention here? On a micro level, intention. My intention is to make a YouTube video this morning. That's the intention. So this morning, woke up, did my morning routine, actually guided 20 people through breathwork over Zoom for the Monday Vortex. Feel free to join next week, 9 a.m. Central. And then I didn't look at my phone. I didn't go rummaging through the pantry or the fridge. I did not call a friend. I didn't do anything random. And I tried to keep my novel stimuli to an absolute minimum so that I could be sharp for this video for you guys. Novel stimuli, random things. Literally, if you are looking out your window and you're on your computer and you have, let's say, traffic in front of you, and there's cars going there all day long, just different cars, new novel stimuli all day long. Your brain can't not focus on the novel stimuli. It has to pay attention to the novel stimuli. Why? Survival bias. Again, it has to assess the environment at all costs to keep you alive. It doesn't care about the 100K a month. It doesn't care about your deep work session. It cares about, is that car, what is that car? What is that? What is that? What is that? What is that? Even a bird flying by your window when you're working. And that's like the external real world. What you have to become really good at is getting rid of the digital world stuff. This is why the phone is just horrible, because every single notification, it's a novel stimuli, and it's going to change your brainwave state, and it's going to shift you out of alpha, theta alpha. We're in theta alpha at the end of a meditation, and we want to just stay in alpha and do our thing. so that we can achieve what we wanted during this wireframed out deep work session. And so one of the biggest things is like, yes, there's an intention that we have, but after your meditation workout in the morning, when you sit down at your computer, you have to set the intention right then and there. Don't open your computer until you know what you need to accomplish from the 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. window. You have to set the intention. Intention is a superpower. Every single pro athlete that I work with, they realize this. They're like, it's all about my intention. It's all about the intention and then where the energy's coming from and what am I focused on and how aware am I? The really good athletes recognize this and they understand that, bro, this game is me racing from point A to point B as fast as possible, 100-meter sprint, point A, point B, fast as possible. Okay, that's the intention. I have to now focus on what's going to be conducive to me doing that in the fastest way possible. For you, if you're trying to make money, you're an entrepreneur, then you want to set the intention right in the beginning. Wireframe it out. This is no fly zone for anyone gets into that zone. This is your zone. That's your zone. So, wireframing out in the mornings and recognizing that protecting your frequency in the mornings is the most important thing you can possibly do for your focus, because yes, focus is innate and a byproduct of getting rid of weapons of mass destruction. But you can train yourself to become addicted to focus. You can train yourself to become addicted to the deep work session, to the business, to the intention. That is what we want. We want our attention to be addicted to our ultimate mission, our intention, our Polaris, North Star. We are addicted to that. And the mission is going to take care of everything. And so, something that you can do as well is a hardcore dopamine reset once a week to reset your baseline dopaminergic level. So, yes, this is the number one thing. I cannot emphasize this enough. If you can learn how to focus, you can do anything in this life. That is the one thing you should be focusing on, is what you're focused on and how to be able to focus better. Because you can do all the habits and all the stuff, but if you can't focus, you're screwed. So, again, this level of dopaminergic is going to be gasoline on the fire of your focus. If you are someone who hits the phone pretty hard and doom scrolls, and let's say you doom scroll, a couple days in a row, I've been there, no saint, your dopamine level's here. Dopamine. What we do though is we eliminate cheap dopamine. Obviously, this is not a new concept to you, and your dopaminergic level decreases lower. And so what happens is suddenly it feels so good to do work. It feels so good to work on your business. This is how you flip a video game addiction. You eliminate the video games fully. And your monkey brain's like, holy shit, where am I going to get dopamine? I need dopamine. And you give it the channel, you give it the path of dopamine through your business, gamifying your business, you will become a millionaire. If you have this is why ADHD and addictive personality, superpowers, truly. You just have to direct it, and you have to become aware of what you're focused on, and you're focused on the wrong things most likely. I know I am throughout my life, and I know I'm only getting good at it recently. In the past 2 weeks, I quit out caffeine. I didn't listen to any music, novel stimuli. Didn't listen to any podcasts, novel stimuli. Didn't listen to or watch any YouTube or Netflix. I did not allow myself to go on social media until 5 p.m. And this was game changer, because let's say you wake up in the morning, and you have your first wireframed out deep work session, great, money, but then you have food. And again, novel stimuli. What's the food going to be? Is it going to be steak and eggs? Those are eggs. Or is it going to be a fuckload of carbs, carbs and sweets, sugar. Sugar will screw you, and then maybe some protein and some seed oils? Well, for one, your body's like, that's a lot for me to handle. For two, this will fuck your brain. This is going to screw your focus, and it's going to just, if you spend one day, I challenge you, do a wireframed out morning session, eat steak, eggs, maybe hot sauce. Don't look at your phone. Don't read a book. Just pray to God before you eat. Sit there and eat slowly, one thing at one time with all your being. See then how much different your afternoon session is of wireframed out deep work. And then at night, you can just fuck off. Then at night, hit the dopamine, hit the candy, hit the sweets, hit the whatever. Obviously, I don't condone that, but that's when you would eat your carbs. I wouldn't eat any carbs until dinner. If your aim is to make money, obviously if you're an athlete, it's different. If you're healing, it's a little different. But if, for the sake of this conversation, if you are aiming at making 100K a month, then don't eat carbs until the dinner. Don't eat carbs till dinner. Eliminate all notifications. Eliminate your phone to the best of your abilities. Checking your phone at lunch, that's taking, okay, we crushed it, 6 a.m. We crushed this alpha brain waves all the way. And then lunchtime hits and we watch a podcast and doom scroll and all this stuff, and then we have notifications, and then it's like you're faced with how I got to do more work, and you don't want to do work. You literally, I'm like, and I know this is me, I'm like, I would rather do anything except for sit at my computer and focus again, because my brain doesn't want to shift again. And so one of the best ways that you can overcome this, if you are to eat carbs for lunch, if you are to doom scroll at lunch or watch a YouTube video or something, one of the best things you can do is some breath work. Truly, breath work sets the nervous system GPS to 0. And you can download my app again down at the bottom. That is going to be really, really good. 3-day free trial. Hit some coherence breathing, hit some vortex breathing. It will reset everything for you, and it will reset, most importantly, your brain waves back to alpha. And then, okay, let's say you breathe, breath work. Well, now our brain waves are here again. Maybe a little elevated, but we're here. And we can work. We can work there. We can shift back in. So really, what this comes down to is eliminating as much pleasure from your day-to-day as possible. And a lot of people don't want to hear that, but if your goal is to make money online, if your goal is to be an entrepreneur, you are going to have to suffer, even though it's not really suffering once your brain loves it. But in the beginning, it's going to be like, holy shit, no caffeine, no inputs, no social media, no cheap dopamine, no carbs, no sugar. Fuck. But then you start to make money. Then you start to succeed in your business. Then you start to create. You start to have mental clarity, and you are able to take some abstract idea, some imagination, and create it into frozen reality. And it is the most satisfying thing in the world. I am addicted to it. I will give up everything. I have sacrificed and surrendered as many things as I possibly can from a monkey brain level, and because I know how good it feels to read a book in the afternoon, and then to apply that concept, and then to see money in my bank account next week because of that interaction. And the week, I wouldn't have read that book if my monkey brain was looking for dopamine from my phone, if I had looked at my phone in the morning. Try this little experiment. Go on your phone in the morning, doom scroll. Just straight, head right to the bowels of fucking reels. Just do it. Then eat a bunch of fucking cookies for breakfast. Then, I don't know, fucking watch porn before 8 a.m. Then go and like put a movie on and sit at your computer while you do work. Then eat a crazy, you see where I'm going with this. Do it for a day. Do it for a day. Then the next day, do absolutely nothing. Like no books, no podcasts, no videos, no food. No, if you want to get crazy, no water, dry fasting. Not medical advice, but really powerful practice. Then work the next day. Eat some food in the morning, no carbs, but eliminate all novel stimuli and then get to work. You will be astounded at what you can do. You're actually going to reset your dopaminergic baseline every single night at a pretty profound level. Like you can really blow your dopamine stores. I know that this past week we just launched our Coherence Breathwork app when we were going viral on Twitter and my dopamine was fucked. But the next day it's like, we're back. Like it does recenter and recollect if you're operating a physically healthy body. So if you can reset, but reset a new baseline where your body learns, okay, this is where we operate at, and maybe once a week you go no food, no stimulus, every Sunday, no social media, you just read and you sit there. You don't even go and hang out with friends, you don't call friends, you don't talk on the phone, you sit in your room, maybe you go for a long walk, and then you sit and you chill and you read and you eat, and then you sleep and you take care of yourself, and that's it. And you do that once a week, you are going to, over the course of 2, 3, 4 weeks, reset your dopaminergic baseline level to the point where it is easily addicted to your success, easily addicted to your business, and you are going to have no choice but to dive and sink your teeth into your business every single day, day after day. You're addicted. Suddenly you've leveraged the 3 superpowers of your consciousness. You're aware. You're more aware of your thoughts too when you're not escaping into your phone or into vices. From this awareness, you're going to have more focus and attention. And from that focus and attention, you're going to be able to set an intention, A to B, and you're going to continually reset your attention onto that intention. Because what's going to happen, this is what's happening when you're meditating. And this is going to be some game for you on how to meditate for focus. Let's talk about meditating for focus. Let's talk about the 6 R's. This will be what I'll leave you with. This is one of the most powerful practices I've ever come across in my entire life. It's absolutely changed my life. And if you stick around, you are going to really change the way that your brain operates. So when you're meditating, what are we doing really? We're supposed to be focusing on something. What is that something? That could be the breath. That could be a sincere wish for yourself. May I be completely free from stress and suffering. That could be your thoughts. That could be a visualization. It could be a lot of different things. What's the object of the meditation? The object of the meditation, ultimately, in my opinion, is to enter a state of beingness and embodiment that is free from limitation, and is connected to the divine. So when we're meditating, we want to meditate and train our ability to focus. 30 minutes in the morning or whatever. What we need to do is, as we're sitting there, you're going to close your eyes and inevitably you're going to have a thought. We need to recognize that thought. So this is the most powerful practice maybe I've ever come across in terms of training focus. 6 R's. Still drilling concrete over there. Hope that the sound is okay. 6 R's. When you're meditating, you're sitting upright and a thought comes in. We need to first and foremost recognize that thought. Recognize. Recognize what was I just thinking about? Same with the reticular activating system alarms. What was I just thinking about? Recognize. Okay. From that recognition, we need to then release the thought. release. Recognize, and then like scissors cutting a kite above your head, release. Recognize, release the thought. Third R, relax. You cannot be angry if your body is completely relaxed. You cannot be frustrated or anxious if your body is completely relaxed. So we want to continually be relaxing and rewiring the brain. This is what the 6 R's does. It rewires your brain. It rewires your relationship to tension and fear. Because that's what most thoughts are. Most thoughts are driven by fear. Survival bias, once again. All your thoughts are due to unfelt feelings. So recognize, release, relax, re-smile. This re-smile is a mental override on your physical body. This re-smile is going to train your mind and body to release from tension and fear. This re-smile is going to signal to your body, you're safe, you're good. We don't have to think about that right now because we know who the fuck we are and we know what we're doing and we believe in ourselves and we love ourselves and we accept ourselves unconditionally and we are meditating right now and it doesn't have to be in our field of awareness. Recognize, release, relax, re-smile. And all of your thoughts are due to unfelt feelings. So all these feelings are creating tension and this tension, well, all this tension is in your body. This tension is going to create a thought. This thought is going to come up into your mind and then it's going to stick onto your consciousness like tape. And then that's meditation. You're like off to the races with some thought. You're thinking about something because your thought got attached and stuck to your consciousness. When we do recognize, oh, that's a thought, release, relax, re-smile, we train our body, hey, all good. You don't have to do that. And what happens is those thoughts keep coming up, but we release from them and we relax and we re-smile. We do this over and over and over and over and over to the point where this tape becomes less sticky. And then at a certain point, the program falls away completely. It deletes completely. So recognize, release, relax, re-smile. Ah, okay, maybe Nick doesn't have to think about this. Maybe Nick is safe. Maybe we're good. Maybe we can just sit here in bliss and in ecstasy and in love and in connection to God and ourselves. Okay. And that's what we're training. Recognize, release, relax, re-smile, re-breathe. That's a Nick Sweeney original. Re-breathe. Recognize, release, relax, re-smile, re-breathe. Let go. 6R. Return. Where are we returning? Return to what you're focused on. Return to focus/object. So if you are meditating and you're focused on your breath, recognize, release, relax, re-smile. Back with the breath, back with the breath. Inevitably, in 2 seconds, you're going to have a thought. Do the 6 R's again. Every single time you do the 6 R's, you're going to take a step up the ladder of consciousness. Every single time you do the 6 R's, you're going to release from the program. Every single time you do the 6 R's, you are going to be deconditioning your brain from the programs that are running your shit. And if that triggers you, I'm sorry, but there's a whole lot of programs running in your motherboard that you never consented to. When you were a kid, for the first 7 years of your life, you were in theta brainwave state. Theta brainwave state is when the subconscious is most highly suggestible. That is when you are getting programmed. And if you had parents that you thought were God, and then God suddenly conditionally loved you or made you feel inadequate and not good enough, well, then that program got written. And that is now a handcuff, a frequency handcuff that you are perpetuating in the present moment, and you have to take responsibility for your programs. This is taking responsibility for your programs. Recognize, release, relax, your smile, rebreathe, return, repeat over. I probably did it for 6 months before it was 3 months. Gosh, they're really drilling concrete. I probably did it for 3 months, and then I've never been the same again. At a certain point, I did a 6R and it was like, boom, like probably thousands of programs just got released. And I'm probably going to finish up the video here because they're drilling concrete, but let me know in the comments what you guys think about this. Ultimately, meditation is your highest return on investment activity you can possibly do. Meditation is going to train your focus. It's going to make you become aware of what you should be focusing on in general in your life. And it is going to set up your brain so that it is in a smooth frequency, not a lot of novel stimuli, and you are in a state and a mode where you can drop in to flow state, do deep work, achieve your dreams, and achieve what you intend to do in your life. So I hope that helps. Thank you all for coming. Download my Breathwork app in the link below or book a call, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.